Today we're looking at 10 serious reasons why you drink alcohol. No, it's not because you're weak and it's not because you're an alcoholic. There are 10 layers to this problem and we need to unpack the entire picture here. Because if you don't understand this, if you don't understand the reasons why you drink in the first place, how can you fix the problem? Too many people just say, I'm stopping drinking, they give it a go and then fail. You will be somebody who knows every layer to the problem, every problem to fix, you can fix it and move on. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. And how do I know how to do this? Well, if we've not met yet, my name is Leon Sylvester. I've not drank now for 7 years. I've helped tens of thousands of people to do it on this YouTube channel. I've worked with over 500 private clients to help them stop drinking alcohol as well. My approach has been scientifically validated by an academic psychologist. You can find his report on Google Scholar if you just go and search SoberClear. So in short, the stuff that I'm sharing with you today isn't just stuff that I applied in my own life, but I teach this stuff. And I know that these are the 10 reasons why you drink alcohol because they're why I drank alcohol. And listen, this isn't going to be your typical mainstream advice. I'm not going to tell you to drink less. I'm not going to talk about dry January. No, this is deeper. So, the first reason why you drink is because of your worldview. You have a paradigm when it comes to alcohol. When you think of alcohol, when you see alcohol, there are certain things in your brain that go, and these happen instantly. These aren't critical thoughts. You might see alcohol and think, You might see alcohol and think, fun. You might see alcohol and think, chill. You know, you've got these instant snap decisions you make when it comes to alcohol. And that sounds obvious, but you need to understand that that's the tip of the iceberg. We're going to go much deeper. But the first reason why you drink is because of your worldview. It's how you see alcohol. It's how alcohol plays a role in your life. And it's the perception that you have when you see other people drink. Because if you're born into a Muslim country where they don't drink alcohol and they're taught that alcohol is evil, you know, it causes people to do all of these bad things. I remember I used to work in this in the city centre, and it was a rough area, and I would go to buy cigarettes back when I was a 20-year-old smoking, and the shopkeeper was a Muslim, and he used to tell me, like, trust me, the area, it was chaos. It was everybody getting smashed. It was quite violent at night time. It wasn't a nice place. It was very rough. The place was called Blackpool. For those of you that come from the north of England, you know what that place is like. And he used to sit there and tell me, like, you know, I will never touch alcohol. And he would see all these drunk girls coming in with, you know, no shoes on and the fights and all of this stuff. And he was selling cigarettes in this city centre, which you could also argue is pretty bad. But he would say that alcohol causes all of these things and the Quran says don't drink. Anyway, the point of the matter is he had a different worldview. He had a worldview where alcohol is evil. Alcohol is bad. Don't put that stuff in your body. So he didn't drink. If you think that your worldview is not important, it's everything. It's everything. So let's go to the next layer, because where does this worldview come from? Well, it comes from marketing. And I'm not just talking necessarily here about marketing in terms of an alcohol company, because that's a big part of it, but it's how alcohol is portrayed in society from day one of being born. Sure, advertisements play a role, but it's a lot deeper. A lot of people leave comments saying Jesus turned water into wine. I'm not trying to make this video religious, by the way. These are just examples that are coming up when I'm talking about it. But there you go. Jesus, the Son of God, turns water into wine. For a Christian, my worldview is that alcohol isn't bad. But then in the modern world, you might have celebrities, right, that you look up to, that you think are good people. They might not even drink themselves.
Partying is weakness for the soul, my friend, so I try and avoid it.
But they sell an alcohol brand, and then they start to attach their personal brand with alcohol. Again, marketing. It might not be a direct marketing message all the time, but then, I don't even know, maybe it's not even a celebrity, but it's your favorite character in a movie. Maybe it's when the Godfather drinks the glass of wine, and it signals power and success. Or maybe it's James Bond looking sophisticated and cool with his martinis. When I say marketing, I'm really talking about conditioning. And you have been conditioned from day one of being born. There is no question about it. And you didn't get a choice in this. So this leads me to the next layer. And the next layer of why you drink alcohol is you've got time of exposure. For example, let's say that you were born in a country that had no opinion of alcohol whatsoever, and then you come to a country that has an opinion of alcohol. It may take you some time to start buying into this paradigm that everybody else has got. But if you're like me and you were born in the Western world, I was born in England, I was born in Lancashire. People always ask where my voice is from, my accent. It's the northwest of England. But I'm born in a country where alcohol is promoted all of the time. All the time. When I'm 2 years of age in a supermarket, I'm getting exposed to alcohol marketing. When I watch a TV, I'm getting exposed to it. But for me, it was my entire life. And then when I drank, of course I'm going to see alcohol as a good thing. The fourth thing, the next layer here, is it's not just about the time of exposure, but it's also about the people in your life and how the people in your life reinforce these ideas. For example, parents, right? We might have parents that are great people. They're not aware of the dangers of alcohol. They're not aware that it causes all of these types of cancer and etc, etc, etc. And your parents may have bought into these ideas and have a certain paradigm and worldview. So then when you're trying to put the pieces together as a teenager and then you see your parents having a few drinks, you see your parents go and have a bottle of wine after a hard day of work, it reinforces what you've been learning. And when we're young, we're really trying to look and figure out the world and what's dangerous and what's not. And, we think of drugs, right? We think of fentanyl, let's say. No teenager is growing up thinking that that's safe and that's okay. The same with crack cocaine. These are what grip people deeper into addiction, usually anyway. But with alcohol, we're trying to work out if it's safe. So we just look around us. We've had these messages pushed on us from day one of being born. Repeatedly, we look at celebrities or movie characters, heck, even Jesus, and we're trying to work out, is this okay for me? And then we've got our family that are also drinking it, or our friends, people that we trust. So naturally, this is why most people drink. It's quite obvious when you start to unpack it like this. So let's say you're now at that place where you will drink. Right, you're 18 in the UK, 21. I mean, I started drinking way earlier than 18, so I'd made this decision years ago. But what happens, and even what happened to me when I was a young teenager, and what may happen in America when you're 21, or whatever the age is you drink, and guess what happens? Validation. Acceptance. You're one of the tribe now. Welcome, welcome. I remember, you're drinking these drinks and you're talking to the adults like, man, this stuff tastes like crap. And then the adults are like, well, it's an acquired taste. They validate you, right? They like it. And it's sad, right? It's sad that we're validating young people for drinking this drug. But it feels encouraging, right? I can remember it so clearly. When I drank, I felt like I was part of the in crowd. So society validates the decision. Which leads me to the next point. And the next reason why you drink is that when this happens, there are no problems. All the things that you were scared of don't happen. When you're growing up, you might read the dangers, addiction, death, cancer, car crashes. You finally drink this stuff. It's good. Nothing bad happens. And then you start to think, this was nothing to worry about. No wonder everybody drinks. No wonder it's fine. Which leads me to the seventh reason why you drink. You feel like you gain something from that drink. It might be the validation. It might be that you act up a little bit and you get out of your shell and, you're just a bit more sociable and talkative. The chemicals in your brain might momentarily make you feel good. And the next day, there's not that much of a trade-off. In fact, you don't really feel any negatives the next day. So who, in their right mind, would stop drinking? No one. Why would I? From day one of being born, people have told me that this stuff is okay. Then all my family, all my friends drink the stuff. Then I finally drink it and everybody supports me. And now I'm feeling pretty good and nothing bad is happening. Why would anybody stop drinking at this point? Well, this is the problem. They don't. Now, are there a percentage of the population who stay in this level forever? Yes, but it's not that many. And I'll tell you one thing. People that are really, truly only drinking a tiny amount, they ain't leaving comments on my YouTube video defending their drinking like people seem to love to do. But whatever, my message isn't for them. Doesn't matter. But the problem now is the eighth reason why you drink. You continue doing it. You just continue. And it's a slippery slope. Because what people do is they see no negatives to drinking, and that almost always happens, by the way. Unless, of course, the first time you drink, you get in a car and get a DUI. But people continue to drink. And they either continue to drink and they have no problems, which happens, or they continue to drink until life starts slowly declining. They might put on some weight, they might be drinking a little bit more frequently, they might be spending money that they don't want to spend on alcohol, they might be trying to stop, but then they can't, they go back to it, and by this time, it's usually too late. Addiction has taken hold. Because now we go to the ninth reason, and the ninth reason why you drink is because of what's happening is the changes in your body, right? Alcohol dehydrates you and it lowers your inhibitions, but not only that, but it starts to interfere with the GABA and glutamate system in your brain. Because when you drink alcohol, GABA increases and glutamate decreases. GABA relaxes you, glutamate excites you. So you start to feel very relaxed when you drink, but then when you stop drinking, it switches. Glutamate goes too high and GABA goes down too low. So people feel anxious the next day. They get that anxiety where they wake up with a hangover and anxious. So now you're really starting to alter the chemicals in your brain. And eventually you get to a place where you drink to feel normal. You drink just to get to that homeostasis equilibrium where non-drinkers are all the time. So you're drinking all the time to restore a chemical imbalance. And this is when drinking just sucks. This is the point where people really want to change, but they struggle. They struggle because of the 10th reason why you drink. And the 10th reason why you drink is due to fear. It's the fear that if you remove alcohol, the challenge and pain of stopping drinking and the challenge of living your life without alcohol is so high. But if you can start to see this picture, what you need to realize is that if you're able to reframe how you view alcohol, if you're able to get into that state of mind where you see it for what it is, all of these reasons start to disappear. They start to crumble. And when they're gone, guess what happens? Stopping drinking is a choice. It's the easiest thing you'll ever do. If you want help doing it, I'm accepting new clients at the moment. If you want to go ahead and apply for the Sober Clear program, just click the link down below, fill in the application, and you can schedule a call and we can see if the program could be a good match for you. But I promise you, you've got nothing to be afraid of. We can defeat all of these things together. Or if you want to do it on your own, that's cool as well. Just start going deeper into this YouTube channel and hit subscribe.